Hello, everyone. Hello. This is a special announcement, and I'm quite nervous about it. I have been working on this for over a year with chronic illness and taking care of my son in a very spicy, diverse household. It takes a while. And this is something that I'm hoping that can help a lot of you. And this is the beginning. So I have put together some printables, and I have kind of hinted about this in some of my co-plan with me's. If you're new here, this is a brand new thing I'm doing. And I saw that, everyone's picking out their planner. So everyone has their actual dated, systems. Many of you do. Sorry, not like in hand, but like you're using something right now. You have plans for next year, and this is something to supplement that. And it's, again, there's going to be many of them. And they're going to be coming in different sizes. I just picked a couple sizes to begin with, and I would love to hear from you about what size you're using if you definitely need this in your life. I have limited time. I'm actually starting on a new med next week. So this is the end of September in 2024, just in case this sticks around for a while. And so October, I'm going to be kind of low energy, but hoping to continue to expand on these. I am starting with personal and A5. So I have a personal here, and then I have both an A5 bookbound and rings. And that's what kind of makes this a little different. So again, you have your dated types of things. You're looking at those weekly. These are to use either monthly or possibly weekly. It's just a way to plan out your energy due to the name of my channel here. And I thought I would start out with those because it's the true core of a lot of what I'm doing. But there also is going to be other inserts, planning out politics, planning out, symptoms that you're having. There's going to be a lot. And I know a lot of people have a separate health planner, so I'm not diving too much into that yet. This is more of when your energy is running low. So it's very much based on the initial matrix that I made at the beginning of the year in my A5. Let me pull that up. And it's based on this, where you have I put 8 here, but ultimately the one that I created had 7 because 8 for me is a little much, but 7 fit really well. And then we have high, medium, and low. And then I do have 2 down here that I used for spinning and stuck. But you can kind of do this how you want. This is a 1 page that I put together that's similar to this, although this is just in sterling ink, using the planner, and I just whited out the top. So you could definitely still use this in here. This is something a little different though. So it came from that, and I'll first show it in the A5 rings, and then I'll show you why bound may work for you as well. Because I know a lot of people do have bound, but I just wanted to show you that I actually made the A5 version to work in both. So let me show you in this A5 rings. And I put some pretty stuff in here too. Let me know if you want to know where these are from. This is the grid that I made, and I have been printing this on the sterling ink insert paper for multiple sizes to try to check it out. I will say that I'm doing this imperfectly. The lines here are a little bit blue on the page because my yellow ink is running a little low. I have more ink, I just haven't put it in there. But I also know that when you print out stuff for your own use, sometimes like this, it's not going to be perfect. So that's how I'm kind of showing up. And also the name of this whole venture, Sanctuary Paper Co. So that is the name I have been working on for a while. And it's something kind of near and dear to my heart. And this is something where I want you to build kind of a sanctuary in your planners. I know you already are, but there's something really special about adding some personal things in here along with like your daily planning and like all those appointments and all those things to keep straight. These are kind of more like guides and reference points. So there's that. There's also, you could go and create this in your own planner today. Like some of these aren't so special that you couldn't just make it on your own. And I did want to approach it that way. So, I mean, everyone makes printables that you could make on your own, right? But I just thought maybe this might help somebody. So what I have across the top is high, medium, and low. The reason that they're in the middle is because you can use this a couple different ways. So you can use this vertically like this, but if you turn it to the side either way, you can also put your categories here and then write this way. That's a lot more similar to the version that I have. And sometimes it makes more sense just to kind of look at things this way. The boxes are all evenly spaced, so you can use it either way. You can also put titles here or here, and use another one for notes or do something for the spinning and stuck areas. If I had put another one, I think it would have been not enough room. So I left it at that. But that's the reason why they're kind of in the middle. So you can put them this way or this way. Now, if you are in a bound book, there's something, so you can, sorry, I skipped ahead because there's one other thing I'm going to be introducing. So this I printed out on, let me see, I was going to have the example of the paper that I've been using. From Amazon, you can get Tomoe River paper. You can also get regular paper. Like either one works. But I just kind of love the feeling of this one. So this is loose sheets. You get 100 sheets, 52 GSM, whatever it is. And these are A4s. So what you can do is fold these in half and then use a paper cutter, or you can take them somewhere and get them like sliced in half. You can use your paper cutter just to create A5s. So these are what I was using for bound books. And so you can take this, and this is what it, now my printer, I will just preface this. I have a inkjet that is 10 years old. So I am not replacing it because it prints on this paper. You can definitely also get, let's see, do I have it back here? This is just A5 regular thicker paper that already came pre-punched. You can also buy A4 paper and cut that in half. There are a lot of options, as people who are in the ring world know, but I don't see a whole lot of people using printables in their bound planners. So say you're in your bound planner, and what you can do is that this can be taped in. You can like put the little tip-in tape here. Now I did find that there's an overhang of about, let's see, about a third to a quarter of an inch. So you can cut down one of these sides just really quick. And then the top has just the tiniest bit of overlap too. I would say maybe 1 millimeter or 2 on the top, 2 millimeters there. And I would say like 4 or 5 on the side if you want it to be flush in there. So that it can be just a regular page that just fits into your planner. I don't have a B6 size yet. I am probably going to make it over the weekend because I know A5 and B6 are pretty popular. So this is kind of like your base, right? You are seeing that, and I'm going to be making an instructional video on this. This is just kind of a taste of the printables, but like how you structure it, of like, what's your category? What can you do for high, medium, and low energy in that category? So say it's finances and you have a low energy day. What can you do? Can you just like log into your accounts and look? Can a medium be you balance everything, you pay a few bills, and high meaning maybe you're applying for loans or doing like high energy stuff. Like it may be something that takes a lot of brain power or physical, I know, like, there are times when you just kind of run on adrenaline sometimes, but you can only do that so much. And especially with chronic illnesses or being neurodiverse, you need to kind of know where you are at for the day. So when you wake up, you're like, oh, this is a bad day. This is a good day. Or just maybe not labeling them as bad and good. I know we can tend to just say, oh, this is a bad day for me. And you can use that if you want, or you can say high, medium, or low energy. Whatever works for you. So that is like the main thing. And it's just kind of nice to have somewhere within your planner to kind of reference. Could you make a grid and just fill that out as well? Yeah. So it's up to you what you want to do. But I did want to provide this to start because it's easier to make in like a bound planner, but you may not have it for rings. So once you have that set up, and I printed it, also just wanted to warn you with imperfections. I tried my best to line these up back to back, but as you can see, let's see if I can shine light through. There is, they just don't line up. I measured everything out in the file. Your printer will do things like this. And I just wanted to show like that's the imperfection of these things where the logos don't perfectly line up. Some you can get them to, and maybe for your printer they do. Mine is a little bit more picky because it's older. The margins can sometimes like shift a little bit or grab the paper because it's so thin a little differently. And so this is printed on regular paper here, and you can certainly, where is my, what I like to do in both is to use a paper rounder. So for this one, to match the other ones in here, it's pretty rounded. So I'll probably do a medium. Yeah, looks like a medium here. And sometimes they need a little help there. Sometimes they're just a little crooked. And that's part of the process, right? Is like, did that even go in? And that's the fun about making your own system like this. So, and then for the personal size, I made this one so that you can do it here. Now, you may not have enough room on this, and you could use like bigger blocks and then like print more on the back or just print more pages. Again, do whatever you want, or have like, this is a sterling ink page next to it where you can make some notes here and then expand upon them here, or vice versa. If you wanted to print on the back here and have like lines or grid, you can do that. So yeah, right now, starting off with A5 and personal. B5 I would love to do next. B5, sorry. I know everyone's loving the B5. I would love to do a B5. And my, I got some notebooks in those sizes so that I can see like what I can do. I don't know if my printer will print a B5 because that's the other part. Like how much bigger is it? So that's why I got some like quick little, they're not notebooks. What are the booklets are coming for the sizes that I don't have. And I just want to see what I can do. So the next part of this is once you have like that kind of mapped up for the year, and you can like take it with you, right? Like if you go to another ring planner or another bound, you can bring that with you if it will detach, or just print it out again. This is the next part. So this is an energy planner page here that I created 2 different versions of this. So we have a way to just totally brain dump. And then I have a couple questions for you to see how you can take this whole brain dump and use this as a tool and this as a tool. So these lines are very small, and some people write this small. But I also created a version, let's see, is it in this one? I don't know if I printed it out for the A5. No, I didn't. I did. I also have a version for those who like to write bigger. And so it has much more like space in between. So let me show you how this works. So this is just getting a bunch of stuff out of your head. And sometimes, you can assign like how much time it might take you. But what I really like to look at is like how much energy is that going to take to actually complete that task. Sometimes a phone call is like very low energy. Sometimes a phone call is very high energy, depending on how you're feeling and how easy it is for you to complete phone calls. You may be an introvert. You may not be into phone calls. For me, a lot of phone calls can be very medium energy. I would say unless it's to one of my really good friends or a family member, that phone call is hard. So, so I have an L, an M, and an H here for low, medium, and high energy. And what I do is I write things out and I just check off. You can use circles, X's, check marks, whatever you want for what that task will be, that your estimate at that time. It can change, right? You can even mark it one way and then come along later and put it a different color how well, that actually took a lot less energy that day. It just depends. So I ask 3 questions. How can hard tasks become easier? And this is just an area to jot some notes of like, on certain tasks here that need high energy. You can call them hard or high energy, whatever the H you want to stand for. So something like, I'm just trying to think off the top of my head. Oh, if, like filing your taxes. Huge, right? That's a super hard task. When you're just starting out, or maybe you don't have everything compiled yet. So I would put here like, compile everything. It's just kind of like a breaking down, or maybe there are frictions in the way that is something that you want to do, but like maybe you need help with it. Maybe you need to ask some questions. So like maybe it's something about like registering to vote. And then that could be like a hard task. Maybe you've tried it and it just isn't, like you're not finding the right information, something. Maybe here of like making a phone call would make this whole process easier if I just could talk to somebody. Fixing the sink, the hard task or like hiring a contractor become easier is like, oh, if I got 3 quotes, I could hire somebody. So you're kind of breaking it down. And I actually want to, that's going to be a future insert of just breaking things down. So you don't necessarily have to break it down here, but you can. It could be someone else makes the phone call for me. And that kind of gets to the second part here. What can be asked of others? What can you, it could be a family member, a friend, or just anyone else, a colleague. I didn't want to say delegate because it could be delegation, but it could be something else entirely. It could be that someone runs an errand for you, or someone takes care of part of something, or it doesn't, to me, it doesn't always seem like delegation. It seems like, well, what if I asked somebody? I felt like that was a little bit more, I guess, just softer. It just felt a little bit more like relatable, and that I could do that. It's more approachable, I guess. I could ask somebody instead of like, if I say, oh, I'm going to delegate this thing. To me, that can be kind of hard to go, okay, that means I am, asking like a huge thing of somebody else. But it doesn't mean somebody's going to say yes in this area. It just means I can try to ask somebody. And just in that process of learning that I have community around me that I can ask. And sometimes you have to build up that community. Sometimes you're reaching out online. Sometimes going to the library. The library will help make phone calls for you, So there are resources. That's just one of the many things that the library can do. So it could be that the library helps you out in many things. And then what could safely wait until later? So these are things that if you're looking here going, wow, I have so much here. What are some definite things that I can put off that will still feel safe and still feel like I can manage everything else better if I kind of move things here? You could create a little system of like anything with a star is for later. Like you could make a little key here of like 1 week or 2 weeks. You could put a 1W or 2W next to things, even in this area. And then just make a little key here. So many possibilities. And I was thinking when I have been using this, I do this once a week, and I will be showing this in my upcoming co-plan with me. You can like print it out double-sided. And I was making it so that you could kind of do this. I was testing a whole bunch and on different papers. But like I said here, if you also just want a much shorter list, and just a lot more room to write, then I have this version. And yeah, you can print it back to front, just like these, and have extra grid paper if you need to expand on that as well. So this is just a combination of different papers in here just to kind of show you. So the personal size of this, obviously you can't fit all of that. So I made it so that the brain dump goes here, and it can be like right next to your tools here of like, how do you handle some of these things? I printed these single side just because it was a little easier to show up on camera. And then I have the questions on the opposite side. Now I also made all of these pages to be left and right. So just because the logo's on the middle, but you can swap these so that like your brain dumps here and here. And then this is with more room. And then I have that just on each side here. And then I have like the Sterling ink lined paper. Let me show this a little closer here. So that, and my lines and grids aren't the same as hers because that's not my thing. I'm not trying to copy hers. I do love her paper, which is, why I love the like gold edge paper that I'm using in here. But I used a grid system that I was comfortable with, and you're going to be using printouts from all different places, I'm sure. So, and a lot of people like to write really tiny in their personal, and sometimes you don't. Sometimes you like them a lot bigger. So that is how they work in the rings. But let me show you something kind of cool that I do with my bound one. And this is what I've been doing. So you can have this in here. You could also have it floating. You could put it on thicker paper and laminate it, you know, and just have that as a tool. So what I've been doing here is when I print it out on a single page, let's see, I have a couple here. This is just like you have left and right. And then you also have the one with bigger lines because the A5, well, they're right here. What I've been doing is folding them. So when you definitely print them out from the A4 paper and you cut them in half, then what you can do is fold them out like this. And I really liked attaching them to the outside. I forgot to grab some washi tape. And I have this flipping back and forth on this side. So you can print it either way. Let's see, let's see, so this is, and whatever kind of works for you. Did I fold this one the wrong way? Is that why? So what you want is like, there we go. No, this is right. Yeah, because the brain dumps are this way. You can print it so that the brain dump is like what you open to, or have it print out so that your like suggestions are right here, but it kind of sits right here as like a task list. So I might need to, I think I folded one of these incorrectly. So if I just go to like this week, when you attach it here, it's only covering like the weekend. But then, so you can see your Monday through Friday here, and then it just kind of opens up this way. What I like to do, what I figured out was like, wait, if I tape it like this, I constantly have to keep having it open for the brain dump, which is fine if you want to see your weekends. And again, this is just the Sterling ink one, which is very similar to other ones. Then I keep having to open it to see my task list. But maybe I don't want to see my brain dump all the time, right? Sorry, that was a little off screen. It depends like what you think would be most beneficial for you to see. So like stuff that can wait till next week. How I could ask others, maybe seeing this more often might help. How could I make things easier? Because then you're going to kind of like take this whole brain dump and apply it to your week and maybe make a short to-do list here. So maybe you don't need to see that brain dump all the time and just have this here. Or this is just taped in or put somewhere else back here as a tool. But as you'll see in my next plan with me, I'm going to be making a little attachment with that. So I'm trying to think like if I want this, maybe I didn't print this out the way I wanted. Is it this one? I have both sides here and I'm trying to think like, how do I, oh, I had them swapped. That's what it was. So yeah, there's going to be a version where these are just swapped on the page. That's what I was doing. But it does provide, you know, a good margin to like tape things. But yeah, I thought, you know, why not have, yeah, that's not the one. I have so many floating around, and that's why this is not quite an announcement of like these. You can go get them right now. They're going to come out in October. But yeah, so that's just going to sit right there, and you could decorate it just like the other ones. And yeah, I'll have a version where it's swapped so you can have it reversed if you want, because sometimes maybe it's easier to write your dump list here, brain dump, and then have like the questions here, or you could also just write other things in this section. Like you don't have to use those prompts if you don't want to. But yeah, I just found it so helpful to have like enough room to tape here and here that it wouldn't cover up anything and would just kind of sit like that. So that is what I have to announce, that these will be ready soon. I also will have, so I'll have the large writing ones. That's just for the energy planner part. And then what was it? So the matrix and the energy planner are starting out. The B6, I think I really want to get that one done just in case. I know it's a very popular size, but I'm going to stop with that because I want to get more ideas out and then fill in the sizes as people need them. So these two versions will have where you can just print out directly on paper with holes on it already that comes pre-punched, or you can print it out with crop marks if you need them, or just take an A4 and cut it in half if you have an A5. B6 will need crop marks. That's why I didn't do it right away, because I had, and then personal, I don't know, because again, my printer is so old. If you could take a personal and just do multiple per page. The printers nowadays, they do some fancy things. But yeah, I would love to hear from you. What size are you using that you would love to use something like this? And again, there's going to be more coming out. I have definitely a lot of drafts of other kinds of dealing with energy cycles and just a lot of other things. That's all. I'll just tease the energy cycles one because that one's kind of coming up, but I wanted to get these kind of going and kind of build off of them from here. So these will be digital downloads only. I won't be printing anything. The reason why, I come from a website background. I come from just like pure digital. Oh, and you can, like, these will be PDFs. So if you want to use these digitally, however, and like the apps that do things, if you can import a PDF, you can write all over these all you want. So and there will be like two sides and you can just put them together. They'll be the ones without the crop marks. You can just import them that way. I want to be able to make fixes on things in case something is wonky. So if I were to send something to the printer, I don't think my body could take it. If I was like printing so many notebooks, and I feel so deeply for all the creators out there who are creating like full on planners. I'll just say it right now. I don't ever expect to do like a yearly planner of anything or send anything to the printer because I always have typos. It's part of my dyslexia, ADHD, all of that. And I would rather someone download something and say, oh, there's something you need to fix here. And then me send them a new file so they are set to go right away. So yeah, I just plan on making downloadable printables. That's just all I'm going to do. So if you want to hear when these come out, you can go to Sanctuary Paper Co. or Sanctuary Paper Company. They both work. And, well, sanctuarypaper.co and sanctuarypaperco.com both work too. So it'll all route to the official one is sanctuarypaper.co. That is the main one. There is a newsletter sign up right there. I expect to have these. Again, I'm starting new infusions next Monday, so they're not. I'm going to work on these over the weekend and try to set up as much as I can. I'm hoping by mid next week I can release these two. I feel like they're ready. The B6 might be right behind that a little bit if that's pretty popular. But let me know. I have ways to make, like I have a bunch of tests here to make A6, Pocket, Passport. I don't know if I can properly test the B5. I'm getting a B5, as I said, B5 booklet, so at least I can kind of see. I need to have things in my hands to test these out. So yeah, let me know what size you use. A5 will work for also a lot of, well, I think that file even, you could zoom it up and fit it on an 8.5 by 11 if you just want to print one out. Because there's no like holes in it or like dots to where to make the holes or anything. It's just a plain file like this. But I imagine it would zoom out to like a regular in the US page. Oh, an A4 would work. Like, since it works on an A5, you just zoom it back up to an A4 if you ever need that. A lot of like Happy Planner Classics, a lot of them, the A5 will kind of work. That file will work for a lot of the bigger planners. It's the smaller ones. And especially that's why I wanted to do the personal, because it's a very narrow size. But this one I could adapt to the weeks. It's just a little longer, and the B6 is kind of like the weeks, only wider. So I have all my measurements. It's just what to prioritize as I fill all these out. I will be doing a lot of different sizes eventually. I'm just trying to see who would like these first. So yeah, I think that's it. I'm really nervous, guys. This has taken me a long time to get to this point. I was even writing in my 5-year diary and noticed what I was doing last year in terms of my goals to do this kind of thing. And it really does take a long time to think about what would really help people and all the different sizes and what kind of paper and all that kind of thing. I will also be releasing, there's going to be a new YouTube channel just to keep this all separate, and it's more to help anyone who downloads. So I will be like putting up just a really quick, this is how to print on a Mac. And I can only kind of show what I do, and it may just help others, but just kind of general print settings that I look for when I go to print these. You can also take them to like a printer place and have them print them for you and cut them down. So yeah, it's also, you know, being a mom, doing all these other things, and also having a real good heart-to-heart with myself about like, is this what I want to do? But I've been wanting to do this for quite a while, and it seems small right now, but it's definitely going to grow out. Just like any other planning company started off with a few things. Yeah, the cycles one, I'm really excited to put to like finish it out. I have it printed out, but I'm not going to show you yet. Yeah, so go to that website. I'll have it linked down below. Sign up for the newsletter, and hopefully in the next week or two, these will be live, and you can start using them and letting me know. See what you think. Take care, everyone. I would love to also hear by email. It doesn't really help in the comments here, unless it can kind of help everybody. But as I get rolling in this, especially maybe it would help over on the other channel. So that will be Sanctuary Paper Co. over there. You're welcome to follow it if you want, but that's where it's, since the rings content, I don't really do a ton of rings content on my channel here. That's why I'm like having that all separate, a separate channel over there so that I can directly talk about how they fit in the rings and how they do all that. Will I possibly just meld the two channels or like come back to this one and just make it one big one? Maybe. But there's something about my co-plan with me and some of the other things that I do that I like really talking about that here. I don't know. This is just what I'm doing right now. I don't know. Thinking aloud, maybe I just have everything here. Maybe I do. Anyway, that's something to determine this next weekend. Again, I don't know. I don't know. What's your opinion on that? Because that's what I'm kind of like, I'm showing everything right before it's ready. And so I'm kind of like soliciting some comments. Would it be helpful to have like bound stuff on here and then rings on a separate channel? Because I feel like those are kind of separate planning styles. That's why I have two. That's why I have two. And printables are a bit more ring centric, but I'm going to be showing how I use them in here. So take care, everyone. Thank you for letting me kind of verbally process this. If you like this, please stick around. If you really like this, then please consider subscribing on the other channel, because I'm pretty sure I'm going to keep them separate as I'm talking this through, and signing up for the email list so you know. Take care, everyone, and I will see you next time. Bye.